All right, it's Not My Weekend, episode 18, compa. It's legal, fool. If my podcast was a person, you can date it. You can fuck it. You can do all kinds of things, nasty things, and no one can judge you. Everything would be legal. 18, bro. How time flies. I wanted to call my podcast that, but apparently it's taken. I like the name Time Flies. I also looked into Cooler Than I Look because I realized I am cooler than I look. But that one's also taken. I also wanted to be an American wannabe. But I'm already doing American wannabes. Thanks for everybody who's listening to all three podcasts for real. Four, basically, right? Guys are having a good time with them. We're having a good time. The Patreon has launched. People are joining. People are down for whatever. Another comedy special name I thought of doing, but someone else beat me to it. Yeah, dude, very excited. Last couple. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I had a great weekend. First of all, great weekend. I was in the Central Cali, Fresno, Bakersfield, Modesto, California, doing some outdoor gigs out there. And let me tell you, man, I was a little, I'm always worried. You know me. When it comes to comedy, stand-up, I need everything to go right. I don't like the freelancing, hillbilly, fucking savagery, fucking hippie shit shows. I don't like those fucking parking lot shows, impromptu, that's a good word, impromptu situations. I need my shit to be legit. I'm a professional, all right? And I don't like bootleg shows, all right? And, but nah, I trusted the guy who put this together. Shout out to the homie Rene Vaca, funny cat. You gotta follow him. He put this little run together, and I told him, dog, I go, compa, please, compa, all I ask, it's good lighting, good stage, good sound. That's all I ask for. I know we're gonna be outside. I know it's not gonna be the greatest environment. I get that, fool. I get it. But just please do your part, fool. Just all I ask is that we have good crowd control, that people could see us, could watch us. I just don't want to do shit bootleg, fool, like from the ground with one speaker, with one fucking light bulb. No, wait. Con que las cosas estén hechas bien, fool, I'm all for it, dog. And after that, I'm going to need this much money. Nah, he's a great guy. He gets it, fool. He's a pro himself, fool. So he understands. And I knew when I told him. And, I'm down a rough Friday here and there. I am. When it comes to hotels, like, I don't mind sharing my room. I don't mind getting the dirtiest, shadiest motel. I don't, because, I don't really hang out there anyway, dog, So I know it's just a one-nighter, if anything. So I can rough ride it like that. But when it comes to the show itself, I need that to be as well put together as possible, man. And it was. And it really was. It was a great show after show. Bakersfield launched off. We actually ended up doing that one inside because there were so many people. The patio was not big enough. And the patio only held like 30 people. And there was like 50 tickets sold and people were still coming. And so they moved it inside, fool. And I don't know how they didn't get in trouble. They pulled it off. And I was a little hesitant, of course, but having so many people inside at one time. But I stayed my ass outside in the patio where it was just for the comics, and then the people were inside. And I was a little cautious, but hey, at the end of the day, I like the setup. Everything was set up nicely. Much better than it would have been outside. So got through it, and we had fun. Bakersfield, all right? Shout-outs out there to La Fonda restaurant, which was a little melancholic for me because La Fonda reminds me of an ex-girlfriend I used to date, La Fonda. And anyways, another dumb joke. Moving on. Then we went over to to Fresno. We went over to Fresno, California. Fresno's always happening, right? It's a bigger city. It's nice. It's growing. I like the city, dog. It's gentrifying as well. A lot of gays in Fresno. I don't know. Maybe the side that we're in. We're like in the Tower District, and not a lot of gays out there, fool. But anyways, good for them. We're out there. That one was put together by the Tower Theater themselves, but obviously they can't have anything inside at this point, so we use their parking lot. And their neighbor is a restaurant called the Sequoia Brewery or something. So they share a parking lot. So we called it a Sequoia Brewery parking lot. And again, that one was literally in the parking lot, full, like in the open ass parking lot. But they came through, bro, and it was a great fucking show, dog. Great setup, great lighting for those. And there. Let me tell you, there were fucking listeners in every show. So, for example, in Bakersfield, estaba el compa Israel Godinez, el compa. Shit, dude, I'm really bad with fucking names, and I gotta do better, Jerry. I gotta do better. Edgar Llamas, listener shout outs for American Wannabes and my podcast as well. They were out there, and another people. There was a girl, a lady who said they listened to the show too. Fuck. Anyways, who the fuck was there, dude? There was a lady too with her husband. Says, listen to the podcast. Anyways, so they were at Bakersfield, and then in Fresno, también habían listeners, including the homie JC. JSI. He spells it on Instagram. I just realized that's what it means, JC. And he was there. He's a Patreon listener, so he gets a special shout out, dog. Special shout out to the homie JC. Bought a bobblehead and everything, fool, and got to kick it with him for a little bit. Asked about the American Wannabes, and we talked about this last week, why we can't always travel together, but we are working on something soon. They moved on. They were there. And others as well. A couple others were there. Motivation, Saul. Shout out to the homie Saul, who also listens to the show. And Carlos Torres, a singer from Rancho Humilde Dudes, was there. It was cool. Packed. Great time. Great. I think that was my favorite set, to be honest with you. Fresno was my favorite set. I had a blast. Everybody was just having a great time out there. And then Sunday we went over to Modesto, California, compa, and at Ceviche Loco, Coco Loco, and the homies, great people. Man, you know what's great? And I talked about this. I think I've talked about this before, man. Just people, Mexican hustlers, man. Just hustling, open up businesses. La Fonda and Coco Loco, bro, both owned by Paisas Way. By family-owned restaurants, dog. People who started from the bottom, bro. Dishwashing, bussing tables, dog, and now owning their own restaurants, dog. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see, dog. Both restaurants, you could tell, just family invested. This all they got. They put all their marbles into this business, dog. And it's a beautiful thing. Obviously, you stress out for them, and you just see how appreciated they were of having such an event where people came and bought a bunch of beer and food, and they were just so appreciative and so happy to have us there. And shout outs to both of them families, man. Amazing, beautiful people. And it's just an honor. Like the people from Coco Loco were actually from Huntington Park. They're not from Huntington Park. They lived in Huntington Park for a period of time before they made their move out to Fresno. So they knew where HP is, the streets and shit. And so we bonded with that, of course. And obviously they're in Fresno, and they bought a house out there in Fresno for $75,000, compa. But this was like not that long ago, fool. We're talking about 2012, I think he said. He said 7-8 years ago, dog. $75,000 for they bought the house, fool. But it was a story where he said the house was actually listed at 110. 110, no mames, güey. But he said this whole story, the owner told me a story that 110, and then they something about, well, make me an offer, and he offered him 75. And the guy kind of laughed at him, right? But he said, yeah, right. Si me das eso, si me lo das en cash, es un trato. It's a deal. And the guy goes, he shook his hand. He goes, okay, trato, hecho. And he shook his hand, and that fool tried to back out. I was like, no, I was kidding. No, pues, ¿cómo crees 75? No mames, güey, and this and that. He goes, no, tú me dijiste trato, güey. Trato es, güey. Ya, trato. And he called his boss. We called the dude's boss. Like, hey, compa, este güey me dijo trato, 75,000. Y que cash, yo lo tengo, and this and that. And he said, I actually didn't have 75,000, but I started like calling friends and family to lend me money. And I was able to I had 2 weeks to get $75,000. He said he got it. I don't know how the fuck. I don't know if I can. I'm sure I can get $75,000 if I really need to. Like an emergency situation. Like like my kid got kidnapped kind of shit. I'm sure I can, but damn, man. Scraping up 75 G's, bro, from just family and friends. What kind of family and friends you got, homeboy? I got them right here. I'm dealing with